Today is Monday, March 8th, 2011. We're going to take up the answers to quiz, Chapter 2's quiz. We're going to start on, there are two sides to your quiz. We're going to start on the one that just says Chapter 2 quiz. Consider the other side Chapter 2 quiz 2, okay? So the very first question is an expand and simplify question. Number 1A, 5x minus 3, 2x plus 8. So for this question, we went over FOIL. It's one of the first lessons we did with this stuff. You guys need to expand it. So you need to FOIL. Then you need to collect all the like terms and simplify the question. So we're going to deal with the first numbers, 5x times 2x. That would be our first for FOIL. Our two first numbers would be 10x squared when we multiply the two of them. Outside numbers would be 5x times 8. 5x times 8 is going to give us our positive 40x. Our inside numbers are negative 3 and 2x. That's going to give us negative 6x when we multiply them. Let's make sure we're getting the FOIL out here. And finally, our last numbers are 8 and negative 3, negative 24. So after I FOIL all those terms, I have four different terms. I have one pair of like terms, our positive 40x and our negative 6x. I can combine. The other two terms stay the exact same. Is our final answer to the very first question. Okay, 1B. Negative 3, 2x minus 4 squared. Okay, so according to BEDMAS, we're going to deal with our brackets first. We look inside the brackets, 2x minus 4, can't simplify that. It's as simple as it gets. Next, we're going to move to exponents. So I'm going to rewrite the base twice. The base is 2x minus 4. So when that is squared, that means I get 2x minus 4 multiplied by 2x minus 4. I duplicate the base twice. Okay? So it's just rewriting that base. Once we do that, it's very similar to the question above. We're going to FOIL again. So I'm going to have equal to negative 3 in brackets. First terms.
Oh my God, man. Call it, man.
Wow,
you
my
idiot.
God.
Wow, you kidding me. Wow, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Wow.
Okay, back to the question. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. Those are our first terms. Outside terms. 2x times negative 4, negative 8x. Our inside terms, negative 4, 2x, the exact same thing. And our last terms. So, once we've expanded all that, I'm still going to work inside the brackets. I'm going to simplify what I have inside those brackets. That's going to give me 4x squared, negative 16x, negative 8x, subtract 8x is negative 16x, plus 16. I still have the final step. I have that negative 3 outside of everything. I need to distribute the negative 3 times every term inside of the brackets. So, our final answer, negative 3 times 4x squared, x squared, (48) and negative 48. So your final answer should have been negative 12x squared plus 48x minus 48. Okay? Once again, if you got that, come show me at the end. We can change what I give it to you wrong. And we'll do C. Finish?
Why is he doing this? Well, I don't want to see that kid.
Okay, so very similar to what we had above. We have 2x plus 5 to the power of 2. So I'm going to duplicate the base. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate the base again. So, now that I have two pairs of this, I need to foil both brackets. Okay? I'm going to do everything in black just so we can get through this in the sense of time. So, 2x by 2x, 4x squared. I'm still going to keep this in brackets because I want to separate. Consider this one term altogether and this another separate term. So I'm going to keep these separate with a bracket around both. There will always be a negative sign between them. So we have our 4x squared, then 2x times positive 5, 10x, positive 5 by 2x, 10x again, and 5 times 5 is 25. So that's my first bracket. Next, exact same idea. When we FOIL, 4x squared, positive 10x. This one becomes negative 10x, and this becomes negative 25. So up to this point, it's pretty straightforward. It's just like the two previous questions we've done. We FOILed all the terms. Now, like I said before, think of it as two separate terms. Here's our first one. Here's our second one. I need to get rid of the brackets so I can combine everything. So our first bracket, because there's no sign in front of it, there's no number, the brackets fall off and all the numbers inside the brackets stay the exact same. There's no change to it. Oh, while we're at it, I'm going to add together our positive 10x and positive 10x. So we have 20x plus 25. So I've dealt with our first bracket. Okay, drop the brackets, nothing changes inside. On our second bracket, I'm going to simplify first, because I'm going to do this in two steps because this may be confusing. We'll simplify the other bracket first. 10x minus 10x, they're going to cancel each other out. Subtract 25. Okay? Our two 10x's got rid of each other. Now, if I go to drop the brackets of our second term, as we're calling it, there's a negative sign in front of that bracket. So what that means is when I go to apply it, both of those signs are going to change. This is going to go from a positive 4x to a negative 4x. So you see this was positive, now it's negative. And our negative 25 will now become positive 25. Because that negative's in front of the brackets, think of it like there was a negative 1. An imaginary negative 1 in front of this, and I distributed it to both terms inside of the brackets. So the numbers stay the same, but the signs in front of the numbers change. Now that I have that, once again, I simplify. I collect my like terms. I have a 4x squared and a negative 4x squared. Positive 4x minus 4x squared. Sorry, positive 4x squared minus 4x squared. It's going to be 0. Those two are going to cancel each other out. Okay? 20x, there is no other like term, so I'm just going to bring down the 20x. And I have positive 25 and positive 25. Together, they equate to 50. So, after all of that work, I'm only left with two terms in the end. 20x plus 50. Okay, question 2a, negative 8m squared plus 20m. It says factor by taking out the greatest common factor. We have our negative 8m squared plus 20m, like it says, greatest common factor. First of all, I'm going to look at the coefficients. Those are the numbers in front of the variables. I can see if there's a common factor between any of them. -8 and +20. So I know that I could take 4 out. When you guys did this, you could have taken -4 out or +4. I didn't deduct marks if you did the negative way or you did the positive way. Didn't matter to me. So I'll do both. We're going to divide our terms by 4. So that means this 4 is now outside the brackets, and we are creating brackets to these terms. -8 divided by 4 is going to be -2 m squared. +20 divided by 4 is 5m. So in this case, I took out +4. Just going to show you on the side. If I had taken out -4, so we're going to say you could have gone 2 ways here, this way or this way. If you'd taken out -4 divided by -8 would have left us with 2m squared. And +20 divided by -4 would have left us with -5m. Okay? So if your signs were the first way or second way, it was fine. I gave you the answer, no matter which way you did it. But I'm not finished. I can still take out a variable. There's a common variable in both terms. There are 2 m's in the first one and 1 m in the second. If there's, what that is, that means is I know I have 1 m in each term. So I can take 1 m out of both of these. The same idea as dividing by m and dividing by m. Our m comes to the outside with our 4 now. And I'm left with -2. Now because there's 2 m's before, when I take 1 away, there's only 1 m. And our 5, there was only 1 m before, so when I took it away, there's no m's left. On the other question, it would have looked like this. Either answer was acceptable, whichever way you did it. But you still would have had to take out a common term of 4m, whether it's negative or positive. Okay, 2b. I have x times brackets 4x minus 1 and -5 times 4x minus 1. This one looks different, but it's actually the same idea. Assume we're multiplying x by our brackets and -5 by our brackets. Well, the common term here is 4x minus 1 and 4x minus 1. That means I can divide all this, both of them, by 4x minus 1. So that 4x minus 1 comes to the outside. Consider it its own bracket. Once I've done that, all I have left is my x and my -5. So my other bracket is x subtract -5. I know that one looks a little different, guys, but just think of it as you have a bracket connected to each term, and inside the brackets the numbers are the same. You just take that bracket out, and whatever numbers they were multiplied with, you leave them inside the other bracket. Okay? So consider it like we had a red one, and we'll call this our green bracket. Okay? That's how we got our green bracket, was those two numbers, and our red brackets was the 4x minus 1. How we do it? Let's move this so you can see everything. Don't worry, that doesn't affect it.